Hey friends, Kelly Blanco here, and today on We're Next, we're visiting Joe's Stone Crab. Truly one of the most iconic restaurants in the entire country. As a matter of fact, just recently, it was named the 19th most legendary restaurant in the entire world. And of course, it's stone crab season, so let's go inside. Thank you so much for opening the doors to Reach TV. This is such a treat.
Thank you.
Joe's Stone Crab was just recently named the 19th most legendary restaurant in the entire world. That is a huge accomplishment and such a great honor. How does that make you feel?
Means I have to go check out the other 18.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun. I'm very proud of the history of the restaurant. I'm proud of all the people that helped get us there. The family, my family, 4 generations, and I have a daughter who's 11 and a wife who's, my wife's in the business. It's been a slow developing story from generation to generation. And Joe's has morphed over the years and become maybe more of what it should be. Because my mom had she has an amazing palate and an amazing touch with food. She's a food savant. I mean, she came up with the key lime pie recipe and the grilled tomatoes. But more importantly than those items is her commitment to consistency and commitment to the employees.
That's one thing that when you talk about Joe's, of course you're gonna talk about the food, right? Of course, but you will always hear that the service is absolutely exceptional. Why is that?
Well, we believe in it, and we train, and we believe in the people that eventually get hired. There is a hiring process that takes place.
And I've heard that the staff stays here forever. They don't want to leave. Is that so?
I believe it is true. Our turnover is relatively small. Some people have worked here 30, 40 years.
Wow.
We've had people, their ashes, we've sprinkled them outside because that's what they wanted. Phil Greer, he was the server. He wanted his ashes here, so we honor that.
That just gave me goosebumps. I know this is like a stretch, but let's just say you had a dream, and in that dream, your great-grandparents were having dinner with you here at Joe's Stone Crab. How would that look like, and what do you think they would tell you?
It's funny, that's been asked, and that's such an interesting question. I pondered that. I don't think they would recognize some of the food, and I think that they would be like, who could possibly think that it would last this long?
Right.
That there is actually a legacy. They were just trying to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And cook fish sandwiches and make sure that Mr. Brown / Al Capone behaved himself.
Yes.
That was what they had mosquitoes. They didn't have air conditioning. They wouldn't recognize the air in here. They would look at the white tablecloths probably and look at all these people, and I would just, I'm grateful. All I would have is gratitude.
And I hope that in between the hustle and bustle, you're able to take a second and take it all in and be so proud of what you have accomplished and what your family has done.
I do, but I take nothing for granted. You can't, because it could be gone like that.
Speaking of taking things for granted, we can only have them at certain times of the year.
Yeah.
Tell us about the stone crabs. From top to bottom, what is the process of getting them through the doors?
You have to, picture lots and lots of fishermen, kind of like Deadliest Catch, going out with their crew, like 3 people, leaving the dock early in the morning. They have thousands of traps. They pull hundreds of traps every day. And then they go from line to line to line. They go through the rotation. But all those traps are baited with pig's feet. Well, they can put them in the water 10 days before the season begins.
Okay.
So on October 5th, they go out. And that's during hurricane season too.
Yeah.
So they're watching the weather every day. And then there's time. They put time on the traps. And the crabs get attracted to the pig's feet. And then they start pulling traps over time. There's crabs in these traps.
Yeah.
Then they take the crabs and they put them, take them on the boat, and they twist the claws off and they throw the body back. So that's for the regeneration purpose. And then they bring the claws back to shore, and on the very same day, within minutes, not even hours. They're cooking the crabs. I mean, they're doing the weighing, they're doing the cooking, they're doing the grating, they're doing the chilling, and they make sure that it's cooked quickly, that it comes to temperature, that it's chilled quickly so it doesn't keep cooking. And then we have trucks that go down there and they pick them up. There's a lot of movement, there's a lot of labor, a lot of hands touch the crabs, from the fishermen to the drivers, and offloading, and then regrading, and then we have the stone crab crackers. That's what everybody thinks they're getting the
Right,
you know,
yeah.
the $10 tour when they see them cracking crabs. There's so much more.
Wow. Let's talk about what else is on the menu. We have a
Okay.
couple of items here. You really can't go wrong with any of the sides. Even the salads are so tasty.
Oh, well, my mom again. She is amazing. Her dressing,
The dressing.
the Joe's vinaigrette dressing
You
is.
can drink that dressing, honestly, truly. I don't think you should, but you could.
And then you can get a slice of key lime pie. It's a hearty piece, and they're made here at Joe's.
Yep.
We have people that are hand pressing the crusts. We squeeze our own lime juice. We don't buy pasteurized. We squeeze our own. We wash the outside of the limes. We do a very, very thorough process in doing that. Again, you know, you use whole products, wholesome products. It's very old school.
My last question.
Yeah.
What do you see Joe Stone Crab with the next 100 years?
Wow. Hopefully one day be able to expand a little bit on the east side of the restaurant, maybe add more parking, maybe add an event room, something along those lines. I hope Joe stays in the family, but I wouldn't require it. But I would like to see that, because it's an important restaurant, it's an important place, it's more than just a business. It's home for so many people. The locals, I think, cherish this restaurant. They have so many memories here. They brought their families here, they grew up here. Then they get married, then they either bring their kids here.
Yep.
You see it.
Yep.
I see the generations all the time. There's a gentleman that used to eat here all the time who passed away, and on his tombstone, it said, "I'd rather be at Joe's." I mean, now, taking that,
Wow,
it's pretty cool.
that is amazing.
That's what it means. You know, you don't know that, because when you work here, you want people to have it, but he took it to such a different level. Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's pretty special. Thank you so much for sharing these stories with
Oh,
me.
please. Thank you.
And now for some key lime pie.
Okay.
My name's Evan Rosenthal. I'm the maitre d' here at Joe's. About 22 years, started here as a server in 2003. Started working as a captain 2005. And then when our lunchtime maitre d' passed away, I was working as the maitre d' for lunch. You know, one of the best parts about working at the front desk, you get all the feedback. And when someone is wowed by their experience here, they'll sit here and they'll tell you about it, and then you'll see them again. And they'll say, "I remember you the last time. You made our experience was so good that we came back," which was nice. I mean, everybody cares about their job here. They take pride in their work. You can see it while they're working. They're smiling, they're having fun, and you can tell they're just enjoying being here. You feel like part of the family, and that's a really cool thing. Well, we have our share of celebrities and athletes that come in here. Jay-Z, Kurt Russell, Michael Douglas, Dan Marino, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James. I mean, they've all been through here and enjoyed this experience. But I would say probably meeting the President of the United States, that was an honor. That was an honor. And also Muhammad Ali. When Muhammad Ali walked in here, it was unreal. There's a whole aura about him that made it very special of a night.
How does one even get a table here?
Well, we don't take reservations. It's on a first come, first serve base. But the key is to get here really early at 5 o'clock when we open, or come on the late end after 9 o'clock. But in the middle, there's always pretty much a wait. It helps to know somebody too.
You're the guy.
Sometimes.
Joe Stone Crab is truly an iconic establishment, and after today, it's clear to see why. Next time you're in Miami, make sure to visit this iconic restaurant. See you next time on We're Next.